got smashed. But we got smashed. But we got smashed. But we got smashed. But we got smashed, bro.
3, 2, 1, go!
What's up, people? It's your boy Levelhead back with another live and leveled Gamers podcast. This is episode 374. We are in here. We ready to go. Excited. So y'all need to start jumping in. What's up, Nia? We are here. Man, oh man, it's the tariffs. Don't blame us, that's what Phil said. Don't blame me. Hey, what's the guy that owns Microsoft? Is it what's his name?
Bill Gates.
Bill Gates, that's right. Bill Gates, don't look at us. Don't look at the man behind all the magic. Don't look at that person over there at booth. Comic Book Crunch, what's up? Box. Now you gotta tell me what you meant in the comment section, bro. I gotta go over there and see. I didn't know what you were talking about, but you throwing the foxes up or the wolves up. I need to know what you're talking about. What you saying, Keith?
I was gonna say I forgot I did the Wizard of Oz. Those are my lines.
Oh, my bad.
I forgot the lines to the play now.
I did kind of screw it up. But yeah, man, we gotta talk about it. Xbox got more expensive. They said, forget Nintendo. Y'all talking about Nintendo. We gonna show you something. Everything going up. Everything must go for higher prices. We also got to talk about these game key cards and Nintendo and this controversy. Yeah, man. We got a little bit to talk about. What's that?
Good job on your video. I think you knocked it out the park, but we can definitely go in some more.
Which one? You know, I was kind of in the zone this week. Which one? You talking about the game card?
The game cards, yeah.
Okay.
And that example you use, fire.
Which one? I use. Now you got to remind me, Keith.
Oh my God, he don't know. He just making videos. He don't remember.
I do.
No, what the dude was talking about. He was going to get the Steam Deck because he didn't want to be. He didn't. What did he say? He want to be robbed or something. He didn't want to.
Yeah. I was like I told you. This is why I stopped making videos. That's why I just say I'm just gonna be with the fellas in the live and Level Gamers podcast. I'm done making videos to have to read nonsense in the comment section. But anyway, welcome to the show. Nia, you said Level been on point. Thank you, Nia. Thank you. I was provoked. I was pushed to the limit anyway. But yeah, man, we gotta talk about that. We gotta talk about this game key cards controversy. Is it really a problem? Really? Like we gotta talk about this. We also gonna talk about Digital Foundry admitted that Street Fighters look better on Switch 2. Keith, I snuck that one. I snuck that one in there. And we also gonna talk about Borderlands 4. It's not a lot, but Microsoft delivered enough for tonight that we got to talk about it. Please tell me y'all been watching The Last of Us. Please tell me y'all.
No, I have not.
Not a single episode.
I'm hurting, man. No, I have no one to share.
Nothing. Nobody.
Nobody. Nia, did you watch it? Comic Book Crunch, have you tuned in? I can hear myself in somebody's background. What's up, Kawan? Welcome to the show. So yeah, we got a little bit to talk about on tonight. Man, yeah. Episode 3 was good. Episode 2 was amazing. And I think episode 4 is about to be even more amazing. I'm looking forward to it. Man, let's you know what? Let's just get to it, man. Let's get into it. What you been gaming on? Let's go. Yeah. You know what time it is. It's it's time for What Have You Been Gaming On? Sing it, folks. Let's go. Hey. What you been gaming on? 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 Gaming on, gaming on, gaming on. Okay, yes, man, I'm gonna say this though, real quick. If there is one series that's actually capturing the game to a T, there's one adaptation, I would say, that's capturing the game to a T. It is The Last of Us. Like, it's I'm gonna say this. It's better told than even the game itself. Like, they really make you go ahead.
I was gonna say that, there was a little controversy with season 1 though. Excuse me. Everybody was upset that season 1 wasn't like 1-to-1 with the game. But I remember hearing Neil, and I could be wrong, I could be misquoting him, so I apologize. But I didn't think that they were trying to make the show 1-to-1 with the game. I think they was using, how they like based on
Inspired
by.
Mm-hmm.
So, but again, as we already admitted, I haven't seen season 2. So I can only take your word for it.
I'm gonna say season 2 is following pretty much close to. Now again, it is an adaptation. It is going to change. It's not 1-to-1, but it flows so well with the actual content in Last of Us 2 that it's almost like it feels 1-to-1. But it's like told from a movie's perspective, not how it is in the game. But it feels like the game and better told to me. Like I'm learning stuff I missed in the game. I'm seeing it in them. I'm like, wait a minute, I know this part. I missed that. I missed all that. And it's there. And on the first one, I did feel like they did in some aspects deviate with some storylines and some aspects that wasn't, but I still felt like it was great. But the second one is kind of following almost to a T. It's just in movie form. But it's man, you gonna know if you played the game, every scene you unseen so far makes sense to you, other than the maybe going off script or doing their own thing in some of the meetings and stuff that they were showing. But anyway, who want to go first? What you been gaming on?
I'll go first.
Okay, go ahead.
I am still playing Star Wars using mouse and keyboard. It's a learning curve for sure, playing a third-person game like that. But I'm getting the hang of it. The game is beautiful. The game is still fun. I will say this one feels a bit more open world than the first one. And that's kind of jarring to me because it's like it's so much stuff to do, and I'm like, I don't want to really. I kind of just want to go do the thing and kind of put this one behind me. But so far, that's pretty much all I've been playing is Star Wars Survivor, and then I turned on my Switch since this wasn't technically.
I thought we were done with the Switch. I thought we were waiting until the Switch too. Well, somebody said we gonna put this on the shelf so I can play this on my Switch too. That's something I heard.
What's up, Darkwing?
You heard correctly, sir. But Nintendo said you're not done with the Switch, and I just want to bring this out since it's not really in the show notes. The firmware was updated to version 20 for the Switch, and it brought a host of enhancements to prepare the way for the Switch 2. Recently, if you turned on your Nintendo Switch like I did, I performed the update, and you were greeted with the virtual game cards and game sharing. The eShop is now the color red. Nintendo is really embracing that color. If you remember the previous Switch color, it was orange. Um, so they are preparing for the way of Switch 2. So now those games that's on your Switch can now go into your virtual card so you can share them with your new console and do all the things that you need to do to get ready for your new device. So that's all I gamed on. If y'all want to go into more on that, you definitely can. I just wanted to bring that out.
I actually haven't turned my Switch on to do the update. I plan on it. I've been editing and inspired, and so I haven't turned it on, but I plan on it. I've been seeing people talk about it, and of course, you alluded to it in the chat. So I plan on going to see what this looks like. It looks dope. It looks interesting. And the game key card part, I want to see how that looks. And I think I saw Game Explain actually show how it works and everything, and that was pretty cool. But it's the tariff. Anyway, let me stop. The tariffs are coming. That's what Phil say. Go ahead, K-Bum.
Well, it's funny because I was actually ready to chop up.
Hold up. Turn your mic down a slight bit. You real hot.
My mic down.
Just a little bit, if you can.
Let me find the mic down button. I don't have a mic down button. Where are you, Mr. Mic Down button?
Well, if you can't.
His mic is telling him no.
Snuck in on me. Nia. Okay, so now I got to do something. All right, hold up. Let me see if I can get her in here. She finna make me have to redo all my things. What's up, Nia?
Sorry, you asked me earlier.
I know I did. I'm happy you're here, ma'am.
I'm sorry. I didn't know if I was not invited or not.
You are welcome. You are absolutely welcome to be here.
Not every time.
I wasn't sure if you was gonna make it or not. So she is here, you guys.
Hello.
The video game Her. All right, I got you in, so you good. We good. All right, stop. Yeah, guys, I'm editing in real time. Don't judge me. Don't judge my editing.
Judge away.
Don't judge me. All right, so we good. So we all represented here. Let me put myself over here. I'll put myself right here under the. Y'all see my faces. But anyway, Nia, what's up?
What's good, everybody, man? I'm just counting down the days to the last day of school, bro.
You sound like my wife. That's all she talking about. In a couple of days. I'm like, I'm not a teacher. I don't care. But no, I'm happy for you guys.
There's no tired like end of the year teacher tired. But anyway, I don't want to derail the conversation.
Oh, it's just K-Bum talking. You okay? What else you have to say, Miss Nia? Anything else you want to share?
Hey, just like that, huh?
I'm messing. Go ahead, K-Bum. I'm bad. I'm joking.
We gonna start this early?
No. And we promise not to argue.
You know what happened last time company came through.
Yeah, we promise not to argue this time.
I didn't promise nothing.
Oh, okay. Well, it's the floor is yours, sir.
Anyway, let me kind of speed through this. So it's funny because I was expecting you to linger a little bit longer on the before what we've been gaming on, because I just finished Daredevil. So I just got to finish that series. So I expect you to linger a little bit longer, but we didn't, so it's all good. Let's just keep it.
My leg is lost, man. I'm lost right now. My leg is lost. I'm kind of lost myself. Hey, trying to stay in good spirits.
It's all good. Let me speed through this.
All right.
So for me, I've been playing pretty much two games, which is NBA 2K and Marvel Rivals. I still have yet replaced my single player experience with a new game. I haven't finished Limbo. I'm very close to the end, but I haven't finished that. I got a part of it that's pretty difficult, and I have yet to look at any internet for help. I've figured out every puzzle on my own. Feel like a big boy. But this one puzzle I'm stuck at right now, I don't know. I'm gonna try to get through it. I'm gonna try to do the whole thing without cheating. But we'll see about this one. Like I said, still trying to get that. What's going to be the next single player? I have an idea, but I haven't just had the desire to play it. Still trying to. But I've been playing actually. My brother and my homie has been really playing a lot for the rivals, Marvel rivals. So I've been pretty much every night they hop on, so we hop on and play. So that's kind of been what my game habit has been. Then on my free time, it's been 2K. So that's what I'm gaming on.
Okay, Nia, and I didn't see when I asked you. I didn't go back to see what you said. That's my problem. I didn't go back to check if you said yes or no. So I apologize. I take it that Keith got you in here, right?
No, it's okay. I figured that's probably what happened. Like it was earlier this morning. So
Yeah, I was at
it's
work.
no biggie. I just, I just
Okay.
wasn't sure, and I don't want to be.
Don't count
I
it
don't
to
want
the
to derail.
heart.
I like the podcast. I don't want to be
No, you was
derailing.
okay. No, you good. I did ask, and I was like, I didn't. So when you showed up, I'm like, hey, she here. I forgot I didn't go back to check and see if you said yes or no. But it's your floor, ma'am. What have you been
So
gaming
good,
on?
Nia. Level does enough derailing for the rest of us. So you good.
Oh
Don't worry
man.
about it.
I'm on good behavior tonight. I'm not letting you pull me into no arguments, no nothing. Go ahead, ma'am. It's your floor.
As far as what I've been gaming on, y'all know I'm end of the year is like end of the school year is like a crazy time for me. So I've been doing a lot of things to prepare my kids for first grade and kindergarten graduation and all those good things, and end of the year testing and all that kind of stuff. So I really haven't had a chance to play a whole lot of gaming. To do a whole lot of gaming, but there's one game that I did have an opportunity to play over the weekend. It's a game that a lot of people have been talking about here recently. Expedition 33. I've been playing the PC version of that game, and I only played a little bit. I'm not knee deep in it yet. I probably won't be until the summertime. But it's a really, really good game. Like it's shaping up to be probably one of my favorites. But I will tell anybody in the chat who wants to try Expedition 33, like this game is not for the weak. Like this is a sweaty game. A lot of people think because it is a turn-based game, it's like, oh, okay, it's a turn-based game, whatever. But like, no, this is a sweaty game. Like this game makes you work for every parry, for every dodge. It really makes you think about your moveset before you do it. If you play, I feel like the only style of game that I could compare Expedition 33 to are like Atlas games. Mind you, the only Atlas game I've played is Metaphor Re Fantasio. Metaphor Re Fantasio is also another very sweaty turn-based game.
Nia, hold up, Nia. You
I
be
feel like
coming in here.
Expedition
You just
33
be
is that
coming in
tier of
here.
game.
You be coming in here showing off. You just rattled that off like it was so easy to say that. We all struggle on this podcast. Saying what you just said. What do you say, Razatazzle? What?
Oh my gosh.
I'm
Metaphor refantasio.
Oh, hush up, Keith. You
Metaphor
struggled with it for a
Refantasio.
few weeks before we got that right.
Metaphor refantasio.
Don't be out here showing out in front of company. Like you can really talk yourself.
Yeah, I'm
Stop
saying
it.
like we all.
Stop
I'm
it. You
listening to
stuttering
Nia.
like the rest of us.
Hey, Nia rattled that off so smooth. I'm like, did she just rattle that off like 3 times in a row without one pause or tongue tie?
Well, because I love that game. Like that game took over a big chunk of my life, but I love that game, and it was my game of the year last year. So
Okay.
yeah, it's a great game. Expedition 33 is also a very good game. Darkwing Dragon, absolutely. It is basically turn-based Dark Souls. Like that game is not for the weak. It's not for the weak.
So yeah, I've been hearing a lot about that game.
Yeah, I'm playing it through Game Pass.
There it is. That's what I was waiting on. Game Pass.
Let me send these shots out. Dark 31, welcome to the show. Darkwing Dragon, I think I said what's up to you. I know I did. Solo X. Hey, man. What's up, bruh? I think I got everybody. K-Bum, you already here, so I ain't got to say anything to you. Okay, so what have I been gaming on? Kawan, I think I said what's up to you. I think I did, but just in case. As far as me, I've been gaming on. Is it Split Fiction? What's the name of that game?
That's right. Split Fiction.
Yeah, Split Fiction. Me and my daughter got on that yesterday. I've been promising her that we gonna come down here, so we came down, got on in the man cave, and that game was fun, man. We finished the motorcycle. I think I don't know what stage it actually was, but we had to fight this big old tank, and it's very interesting because you have two characters, Zoe and I can't think of the other girl's name, but you go between fantasy and sci-fi adventures, and each story is based on like the character and their characteristics, their emotional states, their traumas. All this is wrapped up in each story, and one girl's story is so violent and has certain tropes that constantly show up in all her stories, and the other girl kind of caught on to, like, why is all your stories has this same element in it, has this same theme in it, and they trying to explore the traumas of the past, and we kind of just now discovering the girl that's more, I used to have both of their names, but the girl that's more kind of zany and fun and happy is also starting to show that she also has some traumatic past experiences that is starting to reflect in her stories. So it's really good. My daughter really loves it. I love it. I was going to play some Astrobot, but didn't get a chance to play it. My boys lost, and my will to continue deflated. I'm not mad that they lost. It's just feel weird that we done already. I just don't know how to feel yet. Luka didn't show up. LeBron looked old. Austin Reeves lost all his bullets. I don't know. He was not Kobe from the Ozarks. He was the dead Mamba. I don't know what he was. He just wasn't here. And I paused. I know, Keith. I know. I caught myself. Respect. When I said dead Mamba, I wasn't really referring to Kobe being there. I was talking about he was a headless snake. He was put out his misery, but it didn't reflect good. So I cut that off. For you, sir. For you.
Thank you.
But anyway, so that's what I did this week. All right. So, as y'all know, the big discussion that took place today, Microsoft, and we got the key cards, but those are going to be our two huge discussions. So we're going to start there. We got to start with Microsoft. So everybody has been mad ever since April the 2nd with Nintendo after they reveal of the Switch 2. Of course, Nintendo did not reveal the prices of the hardware or software or the Nintendo editions. And then when we got all the information, we were all gut punched. We were all flabbergasted. We was just appalled at the fact that Nintendo had the unmitigated gall to ask for $450, $499, $80 for Mario Kart World. Nintendo, what are you doing? What's your problem? $80 for Zelda Breath of the Wild edition. At $90 or $70 for.
Forget you, pay me. Forget you, pay me.
Yeah, they was on some. We trying to get this money. We trying to get paid. Put ducats in our pockets, sir and ma'am. Forget your problems. Forget your mortgage. Forget your car bill. Your kid don't need milk. You need Street Fighter 6. That's what you need. Own a key card. We get there. But Microsoft is never the one to remain out of the equation. Nia, they said this is an Xbox. That is an Xbox. I'm scared Fire Stick is about to go up. Lord, forgive me.
If there's some foolish to be had, Xbox is here for it.
I'm scared the Fire Stick about to go up because that's an Xbox. Y'all better check y'all PC prices. Microsoft is not playing out here. So because of Trump, and let's put the blame where the blame belongs. I hear people. I watched Angry Joe, and I didn't even stay watching it long because he really got on my nerves. Everybody's screaming Nintendo, but that's not who caused the price to go up. It was the tariffs. Look at your neighbor. If we was at church, that's what I'll say to you. Look at your neighbor and say, neighbor, blame Trump. Anyway, let me stop.
Thanks, Nintendo.
K-Bum, stop. So anyway, where do y'all want to go? How are y'all feeling? Microsoft, I'm trying to pull this up, so let me find it. Microsoft is not joking. Everything is up. $729.99. I think the Xbox Series X's went up from $499 to $549. The 2 terabyte is $729. The Xbox Series S is $379, and their games are $80. Who want to take the floor as I look up this article? Everybody quiet.
Oh man, this is who want to touch this topic? This is rough. I'll go ahead and jump in. Is if Microsoft really? It's funny because I've never seen a company so bad wanting to hurt their fan base so bad. Xbox fan base has been through the ringer. Lord have mercy. And they can't get a win. I guess when there's a whiff of win, there's been a whiff of win, and that's with Xbox had a hot April. Sorry, not Xbox. Game Pass had a hot April. Make a distinction exactly. When not Souls of Midnight. What was the name of that? What of Midnight? The game that came out, South of Midnight. Yeah. Thank you very much. South of Midnight. If you was in the comments section, you would have already corrected me. South of Midnight. And there was another one that dropped. What was the other game that dropped from Microsoft? Because they had two bangers for Game Pass that dropped. No. Before that, it dropped earlier in April, around the same time.
That Nia was just talking about.
No. That came out recently. It was earlier. Anyway, even including. No, it was before Oblivion. It was before that. Anyway, let me just keep rolling. So they had some wins. They had some wins this April, but Xbox is never too far behind a nail. About this one. That's what it was. What was it?
About.
Yes, thank you very much. Well, let's be honest here. I know I do enjoy bashing Xbox. I'm not gonna lie about that one. But let's be honest here. Sony has already raised their prices. The reason why we're not as up in arms about it is because they didn't raise it in America. They raised it in other countries, and those other countries have been throwing a fit, rightfully so, as they should. But as we know, Xbox doesn't sell systems anywhere else but America. So if they really want to make some money, they gotta raise the prices on where their core market is, which is the U.S. And this isn't. It's funny because when Xbox does it, it's because the position that they're in, that they can't really afford to do the same things as everybody else, right? And the point you said you didn't know was because Sony didn't raise it in America. That's kind of the thing that Sony got away with. They kind of sneakily raised these prices, and then it was in America they didn't really have people up in arms and picketing because it wasn't that market. But Xbox definitely seems to take the L's right on the chin. Pause. But this is no different than what others have already done in this industry. But one I do want to draw some attention to the $80 game though. Can we really say that's because of tariffs? Like that is there's no hardware being traded there, except for the physical disc that you have. But as we know, Xbox gamers don't buy games, so what's the point? Uh, but the fact that they're raising the price even of their first party, I believe it's only the first party titles are the ones being targeted for $80. But like I get the hardware, I get the controllers, I get the special edition, I get the digital edition, the Xbox X, the Series S, the 512, the 1 terabyte. But I don't roll with the price increase of
The game.
the software
Gotcha.
because it's software, right? We didn't he didn't tariff developers, he tariff hardware. So I think that's still is a part of trying to make the money back that they're losing with some of the tariffs. So to me that one is not the other ones, but if anything, that one is thanks Nintendo. I'm sorry, Nintendo got to take
Okay,
that one.
that's fair. That's
Um,
fair. That's fair.
but yeah, I don't. We want to. I don't want to make a fuss about it. I'm gonna drop the mic on this one, but hand it off. But yeah, Xbox it really isn't
Well,
doing more than what everyone else is doing. But yeah, it still stings for somebody who is suffering on the console market. So that's what I gotta say about it.
So let me read.
counterpoint.
Go ahead.
Sorry.
Go ahead, Nia.
I was gonna say counterpoint. I heard people saying, and I haven't checked this for myself, but I heard people saying a lot of the reason why video game consoles are going up, because of the tariffs, is because in many areas, um, video games isn't considered like technology; it's considered toys. So a
Mm,
lot of the tariff pricing on consoles is the fact that in a lot of territories, consoles are considered toys, not like
mm,
technology parts for like phones and um,
got it.
other industries. And then also in terms
Makes
of
sense.
hardware, just to shoot Microsoft some bail, consider that a lot of these discs are not made in America; they're made in other territories as well.
Mexico.
Like, yeah, a lot of discs are made in Mexico,
Hmm.
and obviously the tariffs are also affecting Mexico as well. So I do want to shoot Microsoft a little bit of bail. That's not to say that Microsoft and a lot of other corporations don't jump at the chance of course charging more. But I just feel like my counterpoint comes from the fact that consoles are considered toys, and then also the point that Microsoft is already struggling. I don't know if it would be wise for them to actually raise prices. Um, I feel like that will kind of like counteract any potential sales that they would have for the future. Um, but that's really like my only main point. But to be fair, I've been at work all day. I don't really know the ins and outs of what's happening with this. So, um, I know Love was going to read the article, so
Yeah,
I would like to know more.
well, I'm not going to read the article. I'm just going to read the increase. And let me see. Do I want to read the article? Let me see. No, I don't need to read the article. Just look at the price hike. So, starting with the Xbox Series S 520 gig.
All right, 12.
Yeah, 12. I said 20, didn't I? It goes up from $299 to $379.99. The Series S 1 TB goes up from $349.
Wait. Did you say 1 TB?
Yeah, terabyte.
TIG?
Terabyte. I'm tripping. 1 TB. My bad.
I'm like, is that a new slang that I missed?
No way! Don't do this! No, please
Did I miss
don't
this
do
one
this.
TIG?
Can I make a mistake and y'all? Okay, let me give myself a slap.
I was just trying to gracefully, just
My bad.
smooth it over. Hit them cable. What you say?
Thank you
Hey,
for the
bro,
correction. I said TIG. I meant
I
terabyte.
am not graceful when it comes to that. I come. let me
right.
stop before I say some
So the
Artelius.
Series S 1 TB. My bad. I said 1 TB. 1 TB goes up from $349.99 to $429.99. So that's literally $80. How much is that?
$80.
Okay, so Xbox Series X digital goes from $449.99 up $100 to $549.99. Then the Xbox Series X goes from $499.99 to $599.99.
I guess that'd be what, the terabyte, probably.
Yeah, that's the
He
TIG.
didn't say, but
That's the TIG.
the TIG. Get the TIG.
Anyway, that's the base. I don't know because the Xbox Series X 2 terabyte Galaxy Edition, special edition, goes up from $599
What is that one?
to $729.99.
I've never seen that system. What is that? What is it? Is it like a different color or something? I've never seen that system.
Let's find out. I don't know either.
So that's okay, so that's 600. So that's 120 or 130, no, $130 increase over the base Xbox 2 terabyte edition.
Dude, that's a PlayStation. That's a pro.
Bro, that's a pro. And the fact that Microsoft done it before Sony hasn't done it yet.
Here
In America.
In America, I'm just saying, it speaks to two things for me, and I'm going to bring you in, Keith. It speaks to the fact that I think K-Bum, I don't want to take credit from K-Bum, but K-Bum, I think you said in the chat that you believe Microsoft is trying to compensate for the fact that they haven't been selling through this too as well.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if you articulated that earlier, but I thought that was an interesting take when you said it. So I don't want to take it, but I latched on to that when you said it in the chat. I was like, man, because not only are you jumping out before Sony in America, because you could do this everywhere else, but you're probably not selling it anywhere else at all.
Mm-hmm.
And then on top of that, the games went up from $69.99 to $79.99. Nintendo, thank you, Mario Kart World.
Thanks, Nintendo.
And then the Xbox wireless controller core, the base, I guess, is $64.99. I don't know what the original was. I don't have it here. Xbox wireless controller colored goes to $69.99. Special edition $79.99. Limited edition up $10. So I guess all those may be the same price as they were. I don't think so. But anyway, it's up $10, $89.99 for $79.99. The Elite Wireless Series 2 goes up $10 from $139.99 to $149.99. The Elite Wireless Series 2 Full, don't know what that is. I don't even keep, man, this is all crazy. They got so much crap. $179.99 up to $199. So that jumps up $20. The headset is $64.99. And the wireless headset, the stereo headset is $64.99. The wireless headset is $119.99, jumping up $10 there as well. And of course, we said the games went up to $79.99. So Keith, I'm gonna bring you in, bro. Your thoughts on Microsoft and the tariff response. Go ahead.
All right, so I didn't really know what to think of this. At first, I didn't even really care. Like Nia, I was working. And I was like, oh, they upped the prices. So I had a little time to sit back and think about it. And I was wondering to myself, and I'm going to jump off the boat with this one. It made me think about Doug Bowser and when he said that the Nintendo Switch 2, they did not consider tariffs when they did the pricing. And I don't believe that. I'm calling foul. I'm calling a flag on the play. I don't believe him. I think what we've paid for or pre-ordered is the Nintendo Switch 2 at the tariff prices, right? And because I think if we go per dollar, the Japanese console is $399, I believe.
Yeah.
Switch 2
the one
version is $399.
Region lock, yes.
Yes. So that lets me know that they're capable of making a Switch 2 cheaper than what he said. So I think the tariffs were built in, but I don't think that's a conversation that Nintendo wanted to have when Doug Bowser had his interview.
Right.
But the thing is, that's an easier pill to swallow when the thing isn't even out yet. So you announce a price, we say it is what it is. We want the Switch 2. But for Microsoft, imagine
Mikey.
imagine walking in Best Buy one day. What's today? The first. Imagine walking in Best Buy on the 30th of
Glad you
April
said that. I gotta
and
go
saying to
see it.
yourself, I'm finna save up for an Xbox. It's only $299. And then to come back the very next day
I'll be
and
I'll
it's
be right back.
increased its price.
Keep talking, Keith. I'll be
It's
right
in,
back.
all right. It's increased the price. Just out of the blue. That's a harder pill to swallow for units that weren't even moving in the first place. I don't that's
4 to 5 year old system.
a 4 to 5 year old system that wasn't even moving and you're going to increase the price. That's a harder pill to swallow. That to me, like, came on. I like a good slander story, but I don't like this at all. But I do think I do think it has something to do with the tariffs. I just would like to see, and I don't know if they said anything to justify
They
the
said
price.
market. They said the rising price of development and market conditions
Those
was
are
their response.
buzzwords. Those are buzzwords.
Those as broad as you can make them.
Yeah. So kind of going back to your point that we're trying to make up money for the consoles lost because we haven't been selling. And then the $80 price tags on games. Now I just think they're playing copycat because these games have been out. These games, these are new games. Are they talking about new games? Or
They said around Christmas. So I don't believe the game increase isn't right now. The game
okay?
increase I believe is going to start around Christmas time.
Yeah, they said
Yeah. So
holiday.
holiday. I think they're
Yeah.
just playing copycat because Nintendo technically only has one game that's $80. Even their Donkey Kong game is still $69.99 per what everybody else is doing. So I don't like what Microsoft has done. I think this is something they should have just rolled out and just ate the cost. And whatever
Ooh.
they have coming up, they should have increased that or whatever. But I don't know. Just to one day, everything just goes up. Nah. And then those broad statements, I don't like it. I don't like it. But I also don't like Doug Bowser. I think he's a liar.
Where you put that with them from? Jeez.
Yeah. But that's all. That's all I got for now.
But let's not there's a couple of things we can't forget about. We can't forget that both Sony and Xbox has rose the price of their digital console services within the past year, and I believe Sony it rose twice. I believe Sony did in the past 2 years. So let's not forget that on all fronts, gaming prices has increased. And another note I want to give, which hurts me directly, GameFly has also increased its prices. Thanks, Nintendo.
Really?
That has also increased, and so the hobby of gaming is becoming even more expensive. It was already an expensive thing to do, but the being able to support this hobby of gaming is day by day becoming more and more expensive, which is going to make gamers, and I think Level, you said this, it's going to, and Keith, I believe you said this as well when we talked about Nintendo prices. It's going to make you more conservative as a gamer.
Yes.
On what you buy and what you spend your money on. Does this make Game Pass more? Does this make it more valuable now? Game Pass, saying that
I
you
still don't
get
want to
these
play them
$80
games.
games. You say what?
I still don't want to play them games.
I mean, but you have a banger like the game. I just forgot the name of that game already. Expedition 33, right? You got that for free. Not for free. Sorry, with no additional costs, right? And so I don't know. I'm just throwing stuff out there. So
I mean, I like the idea of what you just said about Game Pass, and I was going to say something about that, and they're probably going to increase the price of that too. Game Pass is a great service. Let me not just be hating on it just to be hating on it. It doesn't speak to me as a gamer for a lot of the games that they've released. Like I would love to play that expedition game, but hearing Nia struggle a little bit in the opening, that kind of make me like, I don't know. And she played them type of games, but yeah, because you got Doom coming out. Doom Eternal is probably going to be on Game Pass, so there is some attractiveness to Game Pass, and these prices definitely will make you say, I'll go ahead and pay the $5.99 for a Series X so I can play Game Pass, or if you got PC, so I can just be in the ecosystem because it is getting expensive. Maybe that was their plan. Hey, make the games go up, and maybe people will say, I'm not doing that. I'll go over to Game Pass, and maybe they'll see an increase in their subscribers because everything is an Xbox. So I can just subscribe to Xbox. I can subscribe to my TV, my Fire Stick, my PC, my phone, whatever I want to do to avoid paying $80 for a game.
That's true.
So the level still going.
And Neil, you don't have to type the words. You can say it
No,
in
I'm
the
back. I'm back. My bad.
You know, I don't like to cut people off, and then also I like to engage the chat. I feel like engagement
okay.
with
I
the
want
chat
to read.
is super important too.
I want to read what
Okay,
Darkwing Dragon just asked, and yeah, I had to pay a bill. That's why I was like, I got to pay a bill. When Keith said it's the first, it's like,
first.
oh, I got a bill to pay. Hold up, let me get out of here. Pay this bill.
I got a bill to pay too.
I ain't trying to get no late fee. That's $40 every time you're late. He says, just throwing this out. Everyone blames Nintendo for the $80 games. But this seems like an industry-wide move, and everyone is blaming them for their one game. Thoughts?
No, Nintendo still needs to take these lashes. Like, yes, development costs is more expensive. I think they said something like the reason why they priced Tears of the Kingdom for $70 is because they had to hire more staff. There was more hands on it, so they wanted to make sure that they priced it at a point where they could pay their people. But it's like, nah, y'all still got to take these lashings. It doesn't matter if this was something everybody else was going to do. Y'all did it first. So take these lashings. Y'all were the first. Take these lashings. That's it.
Okay. Well, I mean, I'm going to say this, and then, Nia, if anybody else have anything to say, I'm going to say, I want to give Dr. Trey his credits. He did say that, like what Keith said, he did say that Nintendo had already set it at the tariff price, even though Nintendo said they didn't. But to see Microsoft come back and respond like they have, it does make Bowser look like he's been dishonest there in that interview that you shared earlier, Keith. So, I mean, I'm gonna say this. It doesn't bother me. Okay, so that's not right. Because I don't have no interest in Xbox, it doesn't bother me what they do. So, that's the best way I can say. I don't plan on I'm not getting the Xbox this generation. Everything they got coming is most likely going to come to my PlayStation 5 or even the Switch 2, possibly. So I'm going to get all my Xbox joy on one of those platforms. Y'all, Keith, Nia, y'all have PCs, so y'all get to play Xbox over there. Keith literally has Game Pass. I don't know if you have Game Pass, but
no, she got Game Pass. I don't.
Oh
have Game
yes,
Pass.
I live and die by Game Pass.
Okay, I had it. Well, Keith, you had Game Pass before.
I'm giving up my subscription.
Yeah, I had it, but it wasn't no games coming out that I wanted to play, so I just let it go.
Okay, so
Starfield?
but my point is, y'all, we all here that don't own Xboxes will get to experience Xbox. So the only thing that matters to me is the $80. And yes, Nintendo did open the door to it, but I'm pretty sure Nintendo is doing something that has already been discussed behind the scenes. I don't think they're just doing it to do it. I believe they, in some ways, there is some coordination between the big three and third party to set a common agreed, like when Sony went 79, Microsoft, it didn't. Okay, remember when Microsoft jumped on the stage and said they system with this, and Sony came behind them and said, well, we're going to price our system at this to rival Sony. You notice they never did that with the games. No one ever, oh, they going to charge you $7, we're going to keep our games. They can't because they all cater to the third party. So in some way, shape, or form, third party is shaping some of this price range. And so I think Microsoft is moving that direction. I think Nintendo, with their top tier games, is going to move in that direction. I think Nintendo stuck a pinky toe out to test the water with their biggest game. Microsoft then said, forget it. It's $80. They hate it.
But this is first party, AAA Microsoft that's going to 80. They didn't say every game.
Bruh.
I believe they're saying. I'm telling you what was said.
I know. I got.
That's what I was going to ask. Like, which games are the $80 games? Like,
I believe they said
ain't got none.
AAA first party. That I believe that's what they're saying is.
Let me ask this.
It's not every Xbox game.
Wait.
Like Halo, they didn't specify.
See, that's where I'm going. That's where you beat me to the punch, Nia. Microsoft first party is what now? Because they bought Bethesda, they bought Activision. That was all third. So all that third party that's now Microsoft owned is going to be $80. So that means EA is going to be $80 now.
No, it's not. That's not first party Xbox.
Oh, so okay, then I'm with Nia. What's
first party Xbox? So that is the ones they bought, which is Activision, Bethesda,
right?
All their studios. It's their studios. It's not like EA or Ubisoft. Those are not considered first party,
right?
Xbox.
What I'm saying is because even though Microsoft bought all those studios, you best believe EA and Ubisoft is going to follow Bethesda and Activision and all the rest.
But you can say the same thing for Nintendo then.
I'm saying that's what I'm saying.
Don't pass Nintendo out the way.
I did. I said Nintendo went out the gate first. Instead of just jumping in the water, they stuck their pinky toe out with their biggest game. To me, Nintendo is testing the waters with Mario Kart World, just like they test the waters with Tears of the Kingdom. They ain't doing it with all the IPs, but you best believe Mario, whatever the 3D Mario game is going to be, $80. Whatever the Zelda game is going to be, $80. It was just Nintendo. I think that was their way of saying, okay, we can get the $80 out of Mario Kart World, and we'll give them a bone. We don't want to stir the hornet's nest up too bad. We'll give this one for $69.99. I think that's what they doing. And Microsoft just said, forget it. Everything $80. So it is Nintendo's fault to a degree because they was the first.
I still think whoever does it first got to sit there with it. Like just like when Xbox hopped out there with that DRM. Yeah, and we putting DRM in the system, and Sony was like, "Nope, you're gonna be left holding this bag." I think whoever still jumps out, even though they still had a level of DRM with their digital games, I think whoever goes out first still gets that. As Neil was saying, you still gotta get left holding the bag there.
Yeah, I agree. I said it's Nintendo. They set the tone, but I just think it was something that was already understood behind the scenes.
I want to push back so bad, but you know what? It's fair. The only thing that I would say is at least they did it with Mario Kart. They didn't do it with Donkey Kong.
Splatoon or something like that.
Yeah, they would do this with Splatoon. Nah, I can't even rock with you on that one, Nintendo. But Mario Kart, Mario Kart is strong enough, battle tested, to take the heat.
Yeah.
True that.
Okay, so
I do got one more thing before we get off of Xbox.
No, I was going to ask where we go from here with Xbox. So I was opening the door to final thoughts.
Yeah, okay, final thought. Before we get off, I do want to say, I know I told you guys already, I wish I had an Xbox right now. I wish I had an Xbox Series X so I can sell that thing. I wish I could make some money right now, because if you bought it at whatever price, what was that, $4.99, you can flip it. I'll be flipping Xboxes right now, boy, but ain't nothing out there. So
I know this much.
I missed it.
I know them prices making that $450 look very welcoming.
Appealing.
I'd say that much. Any other thoughts? Because I wanted the X, but not for no $5.99. Nah,
Yeah,
I'm
same
good.
here.
So,
Well,
especially
I was gonna ask this. Do you guys think that Sony's gonna follow suit in America, or you think they're gonna take this as an advantage?
I think they're
I
gonna
mean,
take it as an
Nintendo's
advantage.
charging $80, Xbox is charging $80. What do y'all think Sony's gonna do as a response?
I think Sony is going to stand pat for as long as they can in America, because right now the Pro is $700, and Microsoft is selling a weaker system for more. So it really shows that Microsoft is really in a bad place as far as their sales, that they have to raise it up in America because they're not selling anywhere else. So they had to even probably make good on what they produced and developed, what they manufactured already that's sitting on shelves and in warehouses somewhere. So I think Sony will stay pat because they can get it elsewhere. But eventually, because think about it. If looking at this Xbox Series X 2 terabyte Galaxy Special Edition, it jumped up $130, right? And every other one pretty much jumped up 80, and then 100, and then 130. So what's going to be the bump from 700? So it's going to be, that's about $150, $160 bump. So you're looking at a Pro that costs 900 or 850 or 900, somewhere around there. Yeah, 850, $849.99 for a Pro, and probably $599 for a PlayStation 5, and $449 for a PlayStation Digital. Like, yeah, I think they're gonna stay pat in America, and at least through this year. You probably won't see them go up there into next year. They might be trying to ride out Trump's stuff, and hopefully that 10% is removed, and they ring, because they're gonna have to
145%.
Yeah, they're gonna have to ring in Trump. That's gonna happen, I think. And then people want to blame Trump is to blame for the tariffs. Now Nintendo with the 80, I say yeah, we got to hold that at Nintendo feet. But everything else is Trump's tariffs. They did that. So y'all want to be mad? That's who y'all be mad at. I don't know who you voted for, but that guy did that. Tangerine Face did this. So anyway,
I'm gonna shake the table.
Go ahead.
If only there were a podcast of people who were warning y'all of things to come. If only.
I did.
Oh.
If only. They know it. They know it. If only there were a podcast of three guys warning you about all of this before times. So we could have avoided all of this.
Talk your talk.
Talk that talk, man.
We didn't get you on more often. I like this.
Because you remember
she invited to the cookout.
I'm gonna say it because I'm not a part of the podcast, so I can say it. Y'all have people windmilling in the comments for that orange man, and look at where we are now. That's it. That's all.
Yeah, we called it, and so that's why I told the guys, I was like, man, we gotta make it clear, because people want to talk Nintendo. It ain't just the games that went up, folks. Let's not just focus on the video games. Everybody want to talk about the 80. That's why I was talking about Angry Joe. You talking about the 80, but that's not all that went up. Orange Tangerine messed us up. Let's just be real. The idiot and chief is the reason why we here. Because he doesn't understand how the economy works. He doesn't understand how tariffs work. He don't understand none of this stuff.
Bro, he's trying to make us rich, man. What are you talking about? That's what he said.
Yeah.
What a great opportunity for Microsoft, an American company, to stand firm and bring money into America. No, they didn't do that. They didn't even do that.
You know how expensive an Xbox would be if you made it in America?
Right.
That's gonna be $1,000 system.
Jeff Bezos.
I'm just saying.
There are some things that would still have to be imported because There's
Right.
some things that we just simply don't have the resources to
We don't make.
to produce.
It'll take
here.
literally to do
They
what
would
the
still have to outsource certain things elsewhere,
Right.
even if they were to manufacture these things in America.
it'll take literally decades,
Mhm.
3, 4, maybe.
Like there are certain metals and things that just don't
Mhm.
appear in North America that they would still have to get from other parts of the world in order to make these chips and all the things that go inside of a console.
You can go
It's
ahead,
just
Neil.
not feasible for us. It's just not feasible for us to make certain things in America. Like it's just not.
Right.
Okay.
And then when
It's
you get
not
into
really realistic. We
you
don't
get-
have the infrastructure. We don't have a lot of the resources. We don't have a lot of the
her
materials, the
preach.
metals, the things that appear in other parts of the world. We just don't have it.
Teach,
And-
teacher.
and then you
Anyways.
add this part to it too. The time that it would take to create the factories and the arc reactors and all the stuff, the facilities, and train up the people would take, and then actually make an impact, it would take about 30 years. So everything that he wants to do is actually within a 15 to 30 year window. You won't feel it. He will be dead and gone before.
I was
what
gonna say
he's
he won't
talking
see
about.
it.
He won't even see it. So the point is, anyway, we're not here to have a political conversation. We tried to warn y'all. We tried to tell you it's happened within 4 months. This man ain't even been in a year, and we already here. I always rhyme.
It's only
man.
been 4 months. Good Lord, it feels
So-
like forever.
So anyway, hopefully, the Senate, the House, Congress, and the Supreme Court decides to really will him in just for our economy's sake, because they got to, because we about to feel it now. See,
Oh yeah, it's coming.
it's coming now. We about to feel all what he done in the next coming months with groceries and everything. We about to feel it. So you seeing this with Microsoft. Jeff Bezos was about to show the difference, and they called him and went off on him like, "Don't you show what tariffs is? How much tariffs?" but Bill Gates like, show him how much this is changing things. So y'all see how jacked up 10% and even on China 100 and what 200% for 149, whatever he got. Yeah, bro, y'all better brace yourself. That's why I was trying to get that Nintendo Switch 2 now, before it's $2,000 in America. I might not be able to buy no games for it. I might be playing Mario Kart World to infinity and beyond, but I will be playing it. So with that being said, any more thoughts on the tariffs and Microsoft and Xbox? No? Good. So
Tariff. Speaking of tariffs, Apple is looking at moving their facilities to India, not America, India.
man, they not coming
Thought
over
I'd
here.
add that.
You know how much you got to pay an employee here as opposed to over there? You know, I worked for Procter & Gamble for a while. I worked for them. You talking about 22 to 30, 22 to 25, 26 an hour, as opposed to $5-6 an hour or even less over there. So they not bringing them factories over here, even if our 47 wants it. They not coming over here. Anyway, so the next thing we got to talk about, and this has been a doozy, and I'm kind of like annoyed with where this has went,
Let's do it.
Yes,
and that is the game key cards.
let's do it.
Everybody has something to say about Nintendo and the game key cards, and I'm just calling foul on all you guys, because I think the first thing we gotta do is we gotta assess who is actually being affected by this. Because I believe, and I said this in my video, I'm gonna say it here and then I'm gonna open it up the floor. Some of you guys are letting people shape your opinion around this subject that may not even affect you near as much as you think. Now, I would rather have the physical game on the cartridge like we have traditionally had for 40 years now. But as things are changing, this is not a new place. We knew this was coming. It's been here. It's not even old. You don't own most of the stuff you got now. Even sitting under your TV, half the game still has to be downloaded or updated or patched. All that's not on the disc. So you really don't own what you got even currently, but we won't even go that far. Are people doing a little too much with this whole game key card argument? Is it been taken out of context? Is people just taking it to a place that is not even sensible? Is people just on some fake outrage? Flores, whoever want to take it.
I think it would be justice if you kind of just level set and explain the game key cards first before we dive into it.
Okay. So the game key card is.
Hey, hold on. Y'all like them corporate words I just used? That was my work voice.
Level
setters, and yeah, that was corporate K-bomb talking. Sorry, go ahead, Level.
All right, thank you, corporate. So as Nintendo explained, game key cards are your keyword key to downloading the full game to your system via the internet. They come in a case and include cards that slide into the Switch 2. Nintendo be trying to break stuff down. I think it's AI. Like any other physical release, you need an internet connection to download the game's files before you play. So basically a game key card, and I think Keith and different ones use this analogy, and I think it's a good analogy. It's like if you own Pro Tools, if you own anything that requires a dongle or a key to access the program, you got the program on your computer, but if you don't have that key, or if you don't have that dongle in your computer's USB, you cannot access the software. And that's kind of like what a game key card is. It's pretending to be a physical disc without being a physical disc. So you need it to play the game, but it also allows you the freedom and liberty to sell, trade as if it was a physical game. That was the big argument with the Switch, because this became a big deal with the Switch. When you go to the store to buy a game, you'll buy it, get the package, go home, open it up, and it's just a code in there. You download the code, and that's it. So you pay for it like a physical. You got a case, you got all that, but it's just a digital code that you could have just went into the eShop and downloaded. Well, people wanted the freedom and the allowance to sell and trade this stuff as like a physical, and Nintendo gave you that. And I think they're also appeasing third party who does not want to pay for their 64 gig cartridges that cost. Nintendo won't disclose how much they cost, but from what I understand, they cost about $10 or more for that 64 gig cartridge. So that's what a game key card is it treats it like a physical disc or physical card. You need it to play the game, but it just allows you to access the digital game that you downloaded. You download it one time, but you put that card in to actually play it. It opens it up and allows the file to open up, or the data to open up and allow you to play it. So it's like a key to a door. You can't access the house without that key. And
got it.
So anyway, so your thoughts. Are people doing too much? Is the outrage inbounds? Who want to take the floor?
I'll start. I give a little brief response to it. I think people are going too far because I don't think they've actually taken the time to actually understand what's going on, or have they considered what we had previously with the paper codes. In the paper codes, you bought a game and that game was tied to your system. There's no potential resale. If you didn't like that game, you were pretty much stuck with that game. Nintendo has come up with a way by using things that we already do, the Pro Tools analogy, something that we already do, and they're utilizing it for the Switch 2, not only for third parties, but also for your own benefit. These game key cards can be resold, and there's just more benefit to it. I understand the collectors that want to collect games because they want their actual games on the cards or whatever, and they want to be able to. I was going to say hoard. I don't want to be mean, but they want to be able to collect their. They want to be able to collect their games, and you see the wall of jewel cases, and you know, things that they've been doing, and I suppose Nintendo was pretty much the last company that was really protecting, I guess, game preservation. And now they are basically seemingly to participate in what's going on today. Well, Nintendo has to. The thing is, we've wanted more from Nintendo as far as like power.
Mhm.
Just we wanted more, and we wanted them to also bring on third party. But you can't expect third party to just shove out money like Nintendo will for their own console, as they have for several generations. So they came up with a solution, and this solution, like again, there's something that we've been using. So I think people are not seeing the forest for the trees. This is how you're going to get your third party games on the Nintendo Switch 2. There had to have been a compromise. Nintendo, we're not paying for those cards, but you can still download them. And honestly, even on your Switch, you don't have to have those games always downloaded all the time. You can download it, play it, delete it. It's to me, the way I play games is really not that big of a deal. I think the game key card is a great middleman, a great compromise. And I just don't think people are actually taking the time to actually read what Nintendo has on their page. And they're listening to a lot of YouTubers, and they're letting those YouTubers influence them. And they'll turn on the video. Nintendo's messing up again, and they've already embraced what this YouTuber said. And they could just go to the page, read it for themselves, and have their own thoughts about behind it. So I would encourage everybody to go read it, understand it. It's not the end of the world. It's actually something positive, in my opinion. Or we could just go back to the key paper and let the games be tied to your systems, and yeah, be happy with that. There's more I can say, but I know y'all gonna really go in on it. So
Nia, this is what I asked you here for, ma'am. This is the very discussion. Kmon, do you want to go before Nia, or do you want to let Nia go?
Nah, let Nia go because she may just say whatever I'm going to say, and I can be quick.
Okay, yeah. This is what it was something Nia said in the chat in the comment section of one of my videos, and it was so on point in the argument with whoever she was going back and forth with.
bro.
I said, I need you to come on because you broke it down so well. You was cooking, ma'am. So break it down. The floor is yours. Take your time. No rush. We good. Go ahead.
I feel like there's so many angles where you could really come at this from. I talked a little bit about this. I went live on my channel on Sunday, whatever day that was. And I talked a little bit about it because I did see that it was kind of creating a stir with the people. And it seems like a lot of people are, I don't even want to say they're confused. I feel like they know what they are, but they go out of their way to make it seem like it's a problem for them, even when it's not a problem for them. But I guess the biggest thing that a lot of people have been saying about the cars is that it's kind of like the end of like physical media, like game preservation. And I'm just like, for me, I feel like if we're being honest, that's kind of gone by the wayside for at least a generation or two now. Like we haven't had, well, if you're not like a Nintendo only gamer, we haven't had like true physical media for a very long time now. And I feel like if people wanted to fight the good fight on the physical media, like the time to do that has long passed. Like we've already accepted on other platforms that this is kind of like a media standard by this time. So it's kind of like, I feel like for me, a lot of people who feel very, very strongly about this, it really doesn't affect them really. And I know that Leveled in your video, this is probably what you were alluding to. In your video, you mentioned how one of the people in your comments in response to the game key card said something along the lines of, "Oh, fine, I don't want to be robbed. I'll just go and get me a Steam Deck."
Right.
And so I'll be honest with you
That's
guys.
exactly what he said.
Yes, I do not currently have a PlayStation 5. The PlayStation 5 in my home belongs to my niece. I do not currently have an Xbox Series X. So the last consoles, non-Nintendo consoles I've had in my home were the PS4 and the Xbox One. And I remember having to install and download from the disc on those consoles as well. I'm not really sure how it's changed on PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series. So hopefully K-Bomb can come in and speak to that. But I feel like on most platforms, you're still tied to some type of service that's rife with DRM. Because let's not sugarcoat any of this. A lot of the things that we're seeing right now in media, physical media, as far as like game key cards, discs on PlayStation and Xbox, all of it is basically tied to DRM. If we want to be real with you, a lot of what you're downloading is not only resources for the game, but it's also the game license for the software. So when you're looking at a Steam Deck, which is touted for using Steam OS, many of those games on Steam still require you to purchase a game license. So unless you're going straight up GOG, if y'all don't know what GOG is, it is another Steam-like platform on the PC where none of the games have any ties to any DRM. CD Projekt Red is really good about making DRM-free versions of their game, putting those games on GOG, but that service is also severely limited in terms of the
Facts.
game library. And don't get me wrong, I like GOG. I use GOGs from time to time, but I always tend to default to Xbox app or to Steam or to the Epic Game Store or whatever, because they just have a more variety. They have more variety. They have more of a selection. So I feel like gamers who have the biggest issue with the whole physical media thing or game preservation thing, they kind of like talk out the side of their necks because they're also supporting like a Steam or a Steam Deck or a ROG Ally, where all they're gonna do is use Steam or Epic Game Store or Xbox Store, and it's like you're kind
Already doing what you
of
complaining about.
already doing that. You're already doing that, and it kind of makes me feel like my biggest thing is always gonna go back to Nintendo. Like I know, like a lot of people are like, oh, it's not Nintendo's fault, Robert, but it kind of is Nintendo's fault because their messaging has been the issue. You can't expect people to go to the Nintendo website and look through all of the specifics. Like I feel like they could have done a better job at they could have done a better job of delivering this information, but at the same time I do feel like the information that they have provided is very clear cut, and I have it pulled up if you don't mind, Level.
Go ahead.
I have it pulled up. I would like to read a couple of blurbs from it if you don't mind.
Yeah, go ahead.
So on the website, it tells you, like you've already mentioned, game key cards, they're just like regular game cards, but they don't contain the full data.
I'm
So
looking
it
at
is
it. I
your
got it
key,
up.
quote unquote, you're downloading the license in order to get the full game on your console via the internet. And then it says, step 1, you enter your game card into the console. Step 2, you download the game. Step 3, you play the game. On here it says an internet connection is only required when you launch the game for the first time, just like on PlayStation, just like on Xbox. Same thing, because you got to get that license from somewhere anyway. But after you do this, you will no longer have to use an internet connection. So I feel like I'm a person who collects games. I still have old consoles in my home. I treasure them. Whenever I have my home back, I'm going to be like displaying all my old things, my N64 games, all of that. And I feel like if you really are actually a game collector, you're still going to be able to play that game no matter what year it is. If I buy Hello Kitty, let's say Hello Kitty was a game key card, right? Let's say I get Hello Kitty on game key card and the Nintendo Switch 4 comes out. I can still go back and play Hello Kitty on my Nintendo Switch 2 because it still functions the same way as a disc on my PlayStation 3, which I can still play. Some of my PS3 games I did have to download, like the late life ones. I still can play those right now. PlayStation 4 games, I can still play those right now. And in this instance, you don't need a Nintendo account in order to access the game. So if you wanted to put your game or your game system on airplane mode forever or offline mode forever so that Nintendo can't provide any updates, guess what? You still have access to that game. It's literally doing the same thing that your current disc and game cards are doing right now. The only difference is that you'll probably have to make more space for it. And then, you're downloading, well, same thing. You're downloading it. So I feel like it serves the same purpose. You can still collect this game for years and years and years. I feel like the only people that this genuinely affects are those people who have gotten as much as they can within a console's life, and then maybe like years down the line, they're the kind of people who like go and try to seek out, the hidden gems of the Wii U, the hidden gems of the PlayStation 2, the hidden gems of so and so and so. I feel like that's the only type of gamer that this will affect. But if you buy that game within the window which it's available, you will still have this option available to you as long as you keep your game key card and as long as you keep your console. But I don't know if I got off the point of why
you
said
explained
you
something
wanted
I
me to share.
didn't even know that. Like, because I do know you asked the question about the PlayStation 5, and I remember making a video about the Xbox One when I first bought it, that it wouldn't allow me because the internet was down during that holiday. I couldn't play none of it. I had the disc. I couldn't play nothing because I couldn't download it, and I couldn't make that initial download and get that that access code or whatever. And so
Right.
with Killer Instinct and with what was the name of that game by Insomniac?
You're talking about the Xbox
Sunset Overdrive.
Sunset Overdrive. I
Yes,
couldn't play
Sunset
none of
Overdrive.
those games until I had internet to make that initial download and get that access. And then once that was done, I was good. So Neil, you're absolutely correct. We are already doing that and been doing it. It's just people, I feel like, and I want to give, I think it's K-Bum, I want to give him the floor because he hasn't said anything yet. But I think it's because, anyway, let me shut up. I'll say what I have to
Because
say.
Nintendo gave it a name.
Yeah, and it's Nintendo. That's what
They
I
gave
think.
it
It's
a
Nintendo.
name. That's the only thing that they did that's different than the other consoles. They gave it a name.
Right. Go ahead, K-Bum. Floor is yours.
All right, I'm gonna try to be really quick so we can get through this. One, Nintendo marketing is bad. This should have been clearly touted as this is a replacement of this feature. End of story. This is replacement of paper digital code. We made it better. You can now make money by trading your game in instead of it being trapped on your system forever.
But they did say
To be
that.
fair, Nintendo did say that. They did say that it was a replacement for the paper, but they didn't go into the specifics of how it still functions as.
I understand that. I still think there was too much confusion afterwards because I know I was still confused. I know people were still. I saw Digital Foundry confused, and they have to. I saw 10 videos of people have to explain what should have been clear. I know they said things, but I don't think things were clear on exactly what it was doing because there was too many videos having to re-explain what Nintendo explained. To me, if people are doing that, that means your explanation wasn't clear, or what you were trying to get across wasn't clear. So that's why that'll be my take. But let me continue. So I believe this is a system that works with what exists, and so this is a better version. This allows GameFly to now use digital games because it's a key, and they can recopy and send out that new game key card to the next user. So those games that may have been only digital only can now be utilized from services like GameFly. Which is dope, but directly affects me. And also looking at, and I think the point, Nia, and I'll be very quick. Your point, what you said that this really affects the collector, but not too many, not everyone who's getting up in arms about this. In 2024, do you know the percentage of digital versus physical games that were sold for PlayStation 5? That percentage was 78% of games that were sold were digital games for the PS5. 78% was digital. For Nintendo, it was 53%. So Nintendo is sorry, say what? Digital. Yeah, 53% digital. Okay. So Nintendo was still selling more digital versions of games than physical copies. Okay. Xbox, 91% of their game sales were digital. 91%. This fight for digital versus physical is over. It's been over for a while. This is where we're going. You can fight the fight all you want. You're just going to, in the words of Mr. Smith, this is inevitable. This is going to happen. And you can hold on to it as long as you can. And last point I want to make is that this isn't truly Nintendo, because a lot of Nintendo games are still contained within itself. But there's a lot of games that you may buy physical that it doesn't matter. You cannot play it after a certain point. The Crew is being sued because it's a physical game that runs on a server. Destiny, you will not be able to play when they turn the servers off. They're Madden, some of these Madden Online, some of these other games, you will not be able to play after a certain Call of Duty. You ain't playing Call of Duty once they turn the servers off. So yes, you have the physical copy, but for some of these games, Marvel Rivals, once they turn it off, you ain't playing the game. So I understand the fight for physical disc. I understand for collectors' sake, but you might as well take a picture of the front of the game, of the console, I mean, of the game packaging, and put that on your wall, because digital is coming. It's going to be here and going to be the main staple very soon. So that's all I got to say about that.
It's something that it's a few things Heart and Soul said that I want to bring to attention. One, he asked this question: is also likely more game key cards now is for quick production for launch titles. That's a question. I'm gonna let y'all ponder that. I don't.
No, when he said that, I said that's a great point, because I can imagine them trying to hurry up, get outside of CDPR. Third parties trying to hurry up and get their games on the Nintendo Switch 2 without the overhead. You know, like, oh, let me hurry get this game out there. And if they begin to generate the sales and generate, you know, people flooding to their type of game, maybe down the line they will put the game on the card. That happened with the Switch one. You know, initially they were doing like part of the game was on the card, and then you had to download the rest. And then eventually, when Nintendo started manufacturing was it 32 gig? Was it? I think it was 32 gig.
Yeah.
Then people started putting their games on the cards. That's a possibility. I actually like that thought that he said.
Yeah, and until you kind of saw that with what's that game that came out? You've been seeing a lot of games do this where they release digitally first, just to get out there, and if it sells well enough, they come back and release a physical version. That fighting game, I can't think of the name of it, Wuyang, whatever that game was.
Black
Wuyang,
Black Myth, something like that.
Black Myth, Wuyang, something like that. But anyway, that came out digital. Wukong, yeah, that came out digital, and that's why I didn't buy it, because I wanted the physical. But I'm like, I should have just went on and got the digital, and been cool with it. But I was waiting for a physical version. But also, let me read this other question. He said he brought up that I didn't know, and Nia was kind of talking to him, saying she didn't know that as well. Shouts out to Heart and Soul 72. Welcome to the show. Chariot Man as well. He said, EU or Europe, I guess. Is that right? Mm-hmm. EU? Is that Europe?
Yeah.
Passed a law that game servers need to be online for 50 years to ensure games you own can still be downloaded. 3DS, Wii, and Wii U servers are still up for download, but not for buying. So if you own a game digitally, he's saying that they passed a law that they have to keep those servers available for pretty much 2 lifespan, because I think for pretty much what they believe your life term will be at that time. You should
That's crazy.
right. I think that's dope.
I think it's dope. Who's paying for the servers? They got that's a lot of money for servers. If you ain't, I don't know.
So they can't just leave that in the cloud and you just access it.
No, you got to pay for that. You got to pay for server storage, a cloud usage. That ain't free.
How much is that? How much you think that is?
I don't run a business. I'm not sure, but yeah, you're definitely paying money for whatever wherever that server is. If it's a physical server somewhere, or if you're using like Azure or using AWS, you're paying for those servers, even if they're not being used.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have to put it in other countries too, depending on where you're trying to get people to download from.
Okay. Comic Book Crunch said
AWS
is Amazon Web Service.
Yeah, Amazon.
Comic Book Crunch said it's the same thing that's been going on with Xbox and PlayStation. Anything over 50 gigabytes has to be downloaded, and the game are so patched. Most of the time it's all downloaded. So I know there's a lot of games you have to download, and there'd be extra stuff because you'd be like, it go through, then it'd be another. You can play the game at a certain, but it'd be more you still have to download. Let me see. Heart and Soul said it's alternate. He's saying it's an alternate, not a replacement. So the game cards are an alternate to digital games. If you want, you can still get the digital game that's tied to your system, or you can get the game key card and have freedom to buy, to sell and trade like a physical disc, but it gives you that freedom. And to me, it's just, it's a smart approach to a problem that everybody had. But I think because Nintendo is doing it, like Nia said, gave it a name, and it's Nintendo, people are just trying to act like it's a problem, but they've been doing it this whole time with disc and Blu-rays. It's just they didn't know that's what they was. Matter of fact, they did know, because this is what Xbox got in trouble for. And Sony does the same thing. I don't know. I mean, because the game is downloaded on your system. It's not on the disc. It's not like it's reading the disc to play the game. Am I wrong to say that?
The PlayStation games download. You get a disc, you download it onto the system.
You download it onto the system, but you still got to put the disc in to play it.
Yes.
So it's a key.
But even that, but it's not a download from the internet. It's a download from the CD.
I got that. What I'm saying is, it's downloaded from the CD, but you got to put the CD in to actually play what you download. So you need the disc, the key, to access what you download. Even though if you erase it, you can put that disc in and re-download it from the disc. So
correct.
Right. So you still you own it for real. I mean, at least partially. But you still kind of doing some of this already. But any other thoughts? Anybody else?
I wanted to read something right quick, since you had brought it out with Heart and Soul.
Yeah.
Had brought out about the European petition. I was trying to look for a more up-to-date article, but this was published back August 2nd, 2024. It says on The Gamer, it says a petition to the European Union has been created calling for legislation stipulating that video game developers and publishers must leave games in a playable state once they have been sold to the consumer. This would make it illegal for developers to make their live service titles inaccessible after release.
Oh, wow.
Specifically, the initiative seeks to prevent the remote disabling of video games by the publishers before providing reasonable means to continue functioning of said video games without the involvement from the side of the publisher. The petition reads, the petition isn't asking for indefinite support for every live service title, likely an unreasonable request, like K-Bone was saying. Rather, they're asking for regulators to force publishers and developers to provide communities with the means of accessing and playing a game they pay for, even once official support has ended. This might involve giving communities the means to host private servers or similar mechanisms. The petition stresses that they don't expect publishers or developers to provide resources for the discontinued video game, just that they leave it in a reasonably functional, playable state. That's pretty cool.
We talked about this. This is one of the solutions that we came up with. If I'm not mistaken,
hands of the people.
We talked about this a while ago. I think when we had a conversation about the crew, and I think this was one of the solutions we talked about. You remember that we had this discussion, and we talked about users being able to run the game servers instead of it being purchased. I think Level brought that up.
Was it peer to peer? What were we talking about?
It wasn't. It had to be peer to peer, but the consumer would take over the server. So let's say Destiny, right? Destiny is a live service game, and so what Scarlett said, they're not supporting any Bungie, they're not supporting anymore. But you still want to do the missions, you still want to do the trials. And so you need somewhere to host the game server so that people can log in and play on those servers. And so a person rents out those servers and does it themselves instead of having Sony or Bungie or whoever do it. Yeah, we talked about this solution. If I'm not mistaken, this is something that we brought up. That's cool because I requesting the company to do is expensive,
right?
And for 50 years is very expensive, and I don't see how they can make the developers or do that, because they reuse those servers for the next iteration, just like Madden 24 reuses 23 servers or 20 or maybe 21 servers to run their game, so they don't have to keep all their servers up. And if you have to keep the servers up for Madden 20, 21, 22, that's a lot of money. So if you can hand it off to locally.
I remember this conversation.
You remember now? Okay, yeah.
We said if they could let somebody host them servers and turn it over after so long, they have to turn it over to what they call a preservation. What was we talking about? A group that preserves these things. Like it should be public access at the certain.
Yeah.
I forgot. It was when Nintendo was shutting down all those emulation studios, and we kind of had that conversation around it. I do remember that, K-Bo. You're right.
Okay.
Anyone else? Okay, so let me see what time it is. 1:37. Where do we want to go next? Do we want to talk about Digital Foundries or Borderlands? I just want to acknowledge that Digital Foundry had to come out and admit that they was wrong. I just need to say it.
Go ahead and
Digital Foundry was wrong about Street Fighter 6 and they PlayStation 4 comparison. They had to come back and admit that it was actually using DLSS, upscaling it from, I think, 540 or 580, 540p, being upscaled to 1080p. Or maybe even 1440p. I think it was 1080p. But they said that it was so good. I wish I could pull it up, but I can't find it right now. That it was so good that it tricked them into thinking it was native 1080p. But it's actually not as DLS, and it also looked noticeably better than the Xbox Series S version. Textures. And it's something that they must have turned off that actually is preferred. I think, giving credit to what credit is due, Dr. Trey kind of called some of this stuff out 2 or 3 weeks ago, the same thing. He noticed and he called it out as well. So I do feel good to hear Digital Foundry having to come out and admit that they was wrong on a few things. That's it. I just needed that out. I just need to put that out. So I ain't got to make a video on it. It's just out there. They was wrong. And take this. Oliver, slap yourself Rich, and slap yourself Alex. There you go. And all your bespoke tools and all your these elitist talk. You was wrong. Take this slap yourself. All right, so I got that out. Anyone else got anything to say about that, or we can move on to Borderlands 4?
In a surprising turn of events, yeah, it's actually looking better than the Xbox Series S. I can't believe it. My brain is about to explode now.
Yeah, oh man, it gets. He was straining so hard. I just want to pull the video up and just play it, but it take too much time. But I actually,
but shout out to Nintendo for sticking with NVIDIA. They really are the leaders of this AI upscaling. And I remember when they talked about DLSS 4, Digital Foundry, and it was another person I saw too, but they were talking about how close it is to native. So they really been working hard to make their upscaling as close as possible to native upscaling. Because back in previous versions of DLSS and FSR, like you could tell that it was running, and even FSR has improved a lot too. So I think Sony's going to be using parts of FSR with their PSSR. So I think this is pretty cool, because now we don't have to have hardware that's just crazy like that. To go from 540p to match and even go beyond visually, even though it's still running 1080p, that's pretty impressive. Did I sound like Digital Foundry? Yes, that's pretty impressive.
No, but it was also some let me see, some other videos that popped up from the directors, and CD Projekt Red put out a dope video of more footage of what was it? Cyberpunk. And man, just seeing it running, like it just feels different. This is weird to feel like see a game running, and you could say I haven't been here this in a long time with Nintendo, since GameCube, where I remember when Resident Evil 4 first showed up, and people was just taken back at the fact that was on a Nintendo system. It's like, yeah. And it was looking better. It looked better than, so it's dope to see Nintendo kind of return to that place, and really shocking people. So anyway, any other thoughts on this? And we can go on to Borderlands.
Yeah.
But yeah, it felt good to see Digital Foundry had to correct
before
themselves.
we do Borderlands, I know, Level, you said you're going to get it. I think I might get Cyberpunk again.
Excuse me?
Environmental material.
I think I might get it. I think I might get it again.
Excuse me, sir.
That'll be sir. This will be the third time I'm getting it. Now, one thing that they mentioned in that video that Level was alluding to was they said that this is going to be the best way to play Cyberpunk 2077. Now, if you just stop there, you jumping out the water, because I've seen some people say, "They're crazy. This isn't the best."
$450 or in Canadian dollars, $630.
This is going to be the best way to play it handheld. And Level, I'm surprised you didn't mention this. They brought out. They talked about using the knives with the Joy-Cons.
Yeah.
And Level was talking to us in the chat, and he was like, "Man, that reminds me of Red Steel."
Yes.
So you're going to have a little Red Steel action going on with this particular version of Cyberpunk. And that kind of makes me excited. Doesn't mean I'm going to be in my living room wagging my controller around, but having the option. I know.
Paul,
but
Lord have mercy.
Let that brother
have
cook,
a lady
man.
in the chat.
Let that man cook.
They're wagging my.
Let that man cook, man.
Waggle, bro. Waggle. It's a term. Waggle.
You a wild boy.
Well, look.
Hey, man. Kids at home got to play these games. Let me stop.
900p 60 to 1440p 60.
I double down.
Hold
But
on.
no, it's
So here
Go
it
ahead.
is right here.
To like a dynamic 900p 30 to 1440p 60. Obviously, there's a bit of a divergence there, but there's an even bigger difference between these two titles, and what you might expect, right? Because they're not scaling up a whole.
Let me see. Let me get back to Street Fighter. Yeah, it took. Oh, Rich was struggling.
Switch 2 versus the Series S version.
Yeah, it's interesting, obviously, that Capcom decided to make that decision.
System.
I'm trying to get to where Oliver don't have to admit.
But at the same time, you have to wonder what the computational cost of DLSS is there.
In every other version of the
I want to hear him say it.
Engine.
Say it, Oliver. Tell him
Some
that it look
key
better.
rendering features from Series S, most notably perhaps screen space reflections. Those are not
It's right here.
actually look better than Series S.
Y'all hear him say it? It looks what? Tell me, Oliver.
And I think that was Tom's impression. That was certainly my impression from reviewing his footage. It does actually look better than Series S in some respects. Now, it's
Wait a
missing
minute,
some
y'all.
key
Let's listen to
rendering-
Oliver say this again. It looks what, Oliver? It doesn't look like the PlayStation 4
and I think
version?
that was Tom's impression. That was certainly my impression from reviewing his footage. It does actually look better than Series S in some respects. Now, it's missing some key rendering features from Series
it
S.
looks better.
Most notably, perhaps.
I want to see
screen space
Rich Love
reflections.
Butter
Those are not
almost
present.
throw
I
up
think some
when he
other
had
bits
to
of-
he had to admit to this too. Let me see Rich face.
That is certainly a correction there, but I actually think in this case the correction is actually
I'm
a fairly
petty, ain't I?
positive correction.
I
in terms of
apologize for being
this
so
game's overall
petty.
appearance. Yeah, I think it's good.
I am a petty
Also,
person.
getting rid of SSR, I would argue, is a very positive thing in any RE engine game.
RE engine.
It's extremely distracting. And
Why does Rich look like a turtle
in
without a
every other
shell?
version of the game? So that's a win
on,
for the
man.
Switch. I think the main thing
Doing
is
too much. You're doing too
He
much.
does though. He looks like a turtle that took off his
next-gen
shell.
version at the time.
The busy world of
So
Richard
it's
Scarry.
not quite
Yeah.
there, but everything
Nah,
else.
y'all
about
are
it,
crazy.
looks a lot sharper and nicer,
That's crazy.
on Switch 2 versus the Series S.
Well, y'all
version.
forgot Nia was here.
Yeah,
she
it's
had to come
interesting,
back.
Obviously, that
Yeah.
Capcom decided
You
to
know,
make that decision. And
I be trying not to
540p is a
overtalk people
very
because I know
low
I can
internal
yell.
resolution.
But that's insane.
But at the same time, you have to wonder what the computation.
Yeah, Rich couldn't hardly spit. He's like, same time. Yeah, I'm wrong, fellas. What do you know? It's an impossible port. Anyway, it felt good to me. It felt good. I'll leave them alone. So let's get to this last thing, and that was this. We had a state of play, which was strange that it was only for Borderlands, and so I'm gonna let K-Bum and Keith and Nia kind of take the lead on this because I watched it, but it just didn't keep my attention. But it looks good. I think it's playing on the PlayStation 5 Pro. What's y'all thoughts? Who want to take the floor? Then we get out of here.
I can jump on real quick. So I'm not the biggest Borderlands fan. I've never beat Borderlands. Borderlands 3 was my first and only Borderlands so far. I did put about, I think, 20 hours into it. I didn't finish, put about 20 hours into it. And I don't know, I'm not the big fan. But anyway, we're talking about the reveal. I thought it looked good, to be honest. I thought it was a very good looking game. I thought the gameplay looked fun. It's going to be hard for me because it's a first person shooter. But it feels like this is what Destiny kind of copied from, right? The Borderlands is not the original, but the first most famous looter shooter, which is what Destiny is. And so they're kind of the granddaddy of looter shooters. So it looks good, but I've just never been a Borderlands fan. But I think it deserves its time in the sun because Borderlands is a big deal. It feels very. I'll have Nia see if she because she's played the game more than I have. But it feels like Monster Hunter with guns. But it feels like
Comic Crunch is stupid. He said, "I love Borderlands buying the $100 edition key card."
I'm not messing with that dude. But no, it looks good. It looks fun. I mean, they've looked like they're kind of going away from the original cast that they had, getting some new characters, what I think is best. But Borderlands always looks good. It's hard for me to play because it's whole first person perspective. But I thought they did a decent job of showing the game. They didn't do like some of the stuff that Microsoft does, where they show you the developers and you get to know. Like I think Microsoft did a great job when they showed off Expedition 33, because not only did you learn the game, you kind of learned the soul behind the game, right? And I think that helped sell me on the game itself. This was just, hey, this is Borderlands, this is gameplay. Here's a little story. So I still think Xbox's kind of deep dive into not only the game but the game makers is a better way of presenting the game. But I thought what they showed here for Borderlands 4 was really good. I thought it looked good. Thought it played very well. Just the first person point of view for me is kind of difficult. But I think this should be another great entry into the Borderlands series. That's my take.
Okay. Shouts out to Flare Ice. I think that's my first time ever.
He said could have been an email.
They use a combination of shell shade in this, don't they?
Yeah. They've done cell shading for a long time.
Yeah.
Okay. Because this is coming to the Switch too as well. But who want to go next?
I mean, I go since I played the games.
Okay, go ahead, Nia.
Okay. I was gonna go since I haven't played the games, and then you can just let us.
My bad.
You can just embrace us. But no, ladies first. Did we do that on here? Did we do that?
No, we don't do that here.
It's up to you.
No, okay, I'm going in. Move, Nia. No, just wait. I have no connection to the Borderlands series at all. I was literally just looking it up, and I could get Borderlands 3 for $5 right now. Hey, chat, should I get Borderlands 3 for $5
Yeah,
right now?
it's a good game.
Okay, Cable One says, hey. But the presentation, man, this felt very Microsoft to me. In the presentation and how they were delivering it. That's a good thing because I like the way Microsoft presents their games and they have developers speaking on it, so on and so forth. But I like the fact that they got in and got out. You know, the guy, he spoke, talked about some few, new additions, and then he was like, all right, check out this gameplay. But again, I don't know much about Borderlands. I think it looks pretty. I think I like the idea of multiplayer. I'm looking at y'all if y'all want to get it, you know what I'm saying? If it's cross-platform, I might play it on the Switch.
That's the only way I played it. The homies playing.
Yeah. So if y'all want to play it, this is like something we can sink our teeth in for a month. But it looks good. Like I said, I'm intrigued to see more about it. Like I said, I've never been into Borderlands, but the way they presented this make me want to see what it's about. Kind of broaden my horizons and spectrum on these types of games. So yeah, that's all I got. Nia, it is yours.
Go ahead. I don't have nothing. So
sorry.
I say Nia, it is yours.
I mean, I'm gonna let you make it, but anyways, so I didn't get a chance to watch the presentation, but yeah, like if I have friends who get it, I'll probably play it. I played 1 and 2 a lot with friends, and honestly, I feel like for me, I would never play Borderlands by myself. I feel like the fun of Borderlands comes from playing it together, co-oping with your friends through the story. Because I mean, Borderlands does have a lot to it. Like, even though to me, I don't really feel like the gameplay is the most exciting to me. The gameplay is not the most exciting, but I feel like the world and the characters and enjoying that with other people is pretty much where the Borderlands series shines for me. I need to go check out the new footage though, because I honestly didn't even know that was a Borderlands thing that happened today. Yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say.
Yeah, I mean, if y'all get it, yeah, I definitely jump on. This is not something. I'm not like I said, I don't like the first person's perspective in most cases. The only game that I've ever finished in first person has been Metroid Prime games. So, but from what I'm looking at, it looks fun. It looks cool. I played some of Borderlands, but I can't say that I knew what I was doing in the game. But I have played some of them. So, but K-Bun, you said it is good.
I said I put 20 hours into it. I stopped playing it because I was doing the Cardinal Sin, and that's playing alone.
Oh,
And so
okay.
I got kind of bored because people kind of left and started playing other games, and I was still trying to finish it. So
Well, we'll see. We'll see. But I mean, it was cool to see. But I thought State of Play was going to be more involved with. I didn't think it was just going to be Borderlands. But that's why when I saw it, I was like, "Is this all they showed?" Because I was like, "Man, this might be just."
well, they said it at the last State of Play.
I didn't know that, so I wasn't paying.
Okay.
I wasn't paying attention when it was State of Playing. So, but anyway, that's it. I want to show this real quick though. I do want to show this, and I thought this was impressive from CD Projekt Red, and I'm trying to give them all the love, man.
On Naya, Keith, you hear this, Keith?
Yeah,
I hear it, man. For years. How many years?
Yeah,
Keith.
I was mad at them when they, was lying to us all those years ago. And I came up, I just wanted you to call them out. I just wanted you to say they were lying.
I did call them out.
That's all
did.
I wanted.
I let them have it.
Okay.
Bro, I let them have it. You still didn't care. When I told you they fixed it, you liars.
I just felt like everybody tried. I'm like, man, don't give them brothers a pass just because they CD Projekt Red gave you Witcher 3. Don't do that.
And now y'all homies.
They ain't my homies, but I do like what I'm seeing here.
It's that podcast. I'm finna go back.
Yeah, go buy that podcast because me and him went at it. We went at it. We went at it, bro.
Because they were lying. They were lying to us, but they reconciled. They recompensed their situation. So, let's play this, man, and then we'll end on this. I thought this was dope. I think Nintendo should do a lot more of these. It's pretty dope to hear the developers talk about it. So let's go. Let's see. Let's look at this. I thought this was cool. I hope I can play it. Fair use, Nintendo. Don't you turn my stuff off. This ain't your game.
Our mission is to create revolutionary role-playing games with memorable stories that move people all over the world, and immersion is part of this experience. So with your choice and
yes, it does, D2K. It looks good on the Switch too.
Something matter.
I'm going to buy it.
Feeling
I
of
sure
freedom, and
I'm
you
dirty.
feel that
Hypocrite,
it's real,
but I'm
it's
buying
really
it.
natural. That's why it makes it so great. This
Personally, I don't think there's anything
is
wrong with you
inspired by
preferring a
life.
game
The
on your
best
favorite
stories come
platforms. I don't think that makes you a hypocrite.
from life.
Actually,
Anything we did has to be
let me
seamless,
explain
and
why
it
I'm
was
gonna say
very,
I'm
very
being
tragic.
hypocritical. I can let them finish first.
Cyberpunk 2077 takes place in Night City. It's one of the biggest cities
It looks
in
good,
New
though, man.
California.
It really
it's,
does.
Full of life, it's bright, it's loud, a city of dreams. So initially you feel that there's freedom of choice, but at some point Night City becomes a system that crushes you.
idea we had for Cyberpunk is all about immersion. So when you talk with a character and you want to be close up, you want to see their facial expression, you want to see the mannerism. And we did not manage to find a way to make it work on third person. And this is why when we went to the first person, we could add those new experiences to the players.
It offers you this dream to become a legend in the city, so you can craft your path using different play styles. This little simple thing that you can use one of your Joy-Cons to fight with your katana.
It's still the same amazing experience, and I think the returning players will feel right at home. That being said, we do have a lot of way to experience the game, using the controllers, using on the go. We have the new amazing LCD screens with the VRR support, and I do think it's the best way to experience the game on the go.
Agreed.
Keith, that was your line. It's the best way to experience the game on the go.
It was extremely difficult to make games, but now that we have all those amazing platforms, the kids are able to also know how to make games. It is something that is part of the culture, and I think that in the future we'll see even more amazing games, amazing ideas that we never thought would be possible 20 years ago or even 30 years ago.
We can expect new innovations and incredible possibilities.
All right, so Nia, let me explain myself. Why I'm gonna say I'm being hip. I went hard at CD Projekt Red. I went hard in a few podcasts And for me to make this U-turn only because it is on the Switch 2 and I'm just supporting them because it's on the Switch 2, I am kind of being a little hypocritical. But that's why I'm supporting them, because I feel like they did a darn good job and they pulled no stops. They took the challenge on and they put it on a cartridge. I'm going to support them. I really am. And that's the only reason I'm doing it.
Let me ask you this, because I don't remember everything you said. Because I remember you used to go in on them some time ago.
I just went in on them lying about what the situation. Go ahead.
No, you didn't.
But
No, you didn't.
But when they fixed it, did you be like, at least they fixed it?
Nope.
Like you at least
Wait a minute,
He did not. He did not.
Wait a minute.
He did not. Nia, he did not.
Wait
He
a
did
minute.
not. No, I'm not gonna let you lie on this podcast.
I'm not lying.
Bring up the footage.
I'm not lying.
I just put it in the chat. He did not.
I came back. It was months later. K-Bum said level, and I said I did acknowledge that they did fix it, but I said it didn't matter because the damage was already done. That's what I said. I did acknowledge that they fixed it, but I said the damage was already done. K-Bum, you got to give me that. That's what I said, man. I'm acknowledging that I called myself a hypocrite in this situation.
Yes, you did, and you are a big man for doing that. I'm proud of you. But what you did for CD Projekt Red, when I came to you about them fixing it and how they spent all that time and all that development fixing the PlayStation version before they even went to the next gen version, and they put all that work in, and you ain't want to hear it. You didn't want to hear it.
Thank you, CD Projekt Red, for all this hard work you've done. That now that it's on the PlayStation 2, Levelhead can enjoy what you have done. I appreciate it. That's why I showed your video. This is awesome. I believe in you. I did buy Witcher 3.
Oh, wow. I believe in you.
I bought Witcher 3 for the PlayStation 4. I didn't play it. I didn't even like it, but I got it. I spent my money on it.
I promise you I can't do this.
You know what? I'm going to spend my money again. I think I'm going to like CD Projekt Red and Cyberpunk. I'm with you guys. I'm a fan for life.
Man,
what? Keith, are you hearing this?
I didn't hear. Hey, all I know is he better complete that game. And the DLC.
Now wait a minute. We ain't going that far with it, Keith. I'm getting the game. Completing the game is not that may not happen, because this is what hours, 100 hour. It's a 100-hour game, ain't it?
I beat it in 60.
And I can stay straight on the missions. I don't have to detour none of all that stuff.
You gonna detour in this game? I'm sorry.
Okay.
You don't have the detour, but you will. You can't play this game without detouring.
All right, but okay. I'm gonna make it my business to beat the game. Now let me ask this, cause is it like games like LA Noir and all those type of games? Is it like that?
I don't know what that means.
Like, okay, LA Noir has all these missions that you can go, you can stay on the main path, but they have all these side things and stories. Is it like that, or is it, is it a little linear? How is it?
It is open world.
Open world. Okay, so it's like LA Noir. Okay, so I'm gonna try to beat it, because I got into LA Noir. It was just I put like 20, 30 hours into that game. I didn't beat it because it was just ridiculous. I was trying to do everything I saw. I'm over here walking around looking at the ground trying to find clues and anyway, anything else? All right. So Nia, thank you for showing up tonight.
No problem. Thank y'all for having me.
Always a pleasure. Always a pleasure. Xbox has set it off. Which SKU are you getting? Which one? Let me know. You getting that 2 TIG? You getting that 2 TIG? What is a TIG? What is a TIG? Now,
I have no idea, bro.
That's
you on your own.
Did we used to say that?
Levelhead original.
Yeah, thought TIG was a thing.
It was crazy.
That's
Where I get that from
original.
then? Okay.
You tell us.
2 TIGs, 2 terabytes. Okay, anyway. But yeah, man, that was the show for tonight. Not a lot to talk about, but enough to get through a show. I don't think you have anything to worry about with the game key cards unless you are an avid collector. I think you're going to get years and years and years of replay value even after the life of the Switch 2. But that's me. I might not know what I'm talking about. But I'm going to let our first guest, Miss Mia herself, I'm going to let her sign out first. Go ahead, Miss Mia.
Thank you guys so much for inviting me on the podcast. Thank you to everybody in the chat. Shout outs to all of the people who engaged in the chat. And yeah, make sure that y'all like this if you haven't liked it already. And if you caught the tail end of it, make sure y'all go back and watch the archive, y'all. This is a great show. These guys are awesome. Make sure y'all keep tuned in to the show, y'all.
Thank you. That's what I'm talking about. Mr. Norris, the floor is yours, sir.
Yeah, sure. I didn't even think about what I want to say. I agree with everything Nia said. I'm over here trying to get a Mario Kart World wallpaper. Yeah, man, great show. Microsoft, 1 TIG, 2 TIG, 4 TIG, Lakers in. Oh, can't say that. Lakers in.
Hey, slap yourself. I'm good right now. You know what I'm saying? I'm good right now. I'm not mad that we lost. I'm shocked I'm not, but I'm not. Go ahead.
But yeah, man, June 5th is upon us, guys. It's upon us. It's coming real soon. Man, get your games in order, digital. Get your key cards ready. You know what I'm saying? All the goodness. I don't know, man. Y'all, man, appreciate everybody for coming through. That's all I got.
All right. K-Bomb 20, floor is yours, sir.
As usual, had fun today. Comment section, you guys kept it lit as always. You guys be popping off in there, man. Jeez, I love you guys for that. But no, I enjoyed myself today. Had fun. Anytime there's Xbox slander, you know you can find K-Bomb. So definitely enjoy the podcast today and look forward to next week.
All right, DJ Fanatic, when did you sneak up in here? Slap yourself, sir. I don't know when you got in here, but welcome. It's too many of y'all up in here. Y'all know who y'all is. I thank you all for. Well, I shoot your shots out every time you jump in, so you know I gave you your love. Thank you for tuning in on tonight. I also want to say I appreciate y'all showing me love on the videos. That'd be a lot of editing, folks. I'm not gonna front, and y'all really done showed out. I mean, not one video already at 1,600. The Salt is Real is at 723. The game key cards is steady going up. I appreciate y'all's support, man. We trying to grow the channel. We trying to grow this podcast. Like Nia said, let's run these numbers up. I believe we got one of the best podcasts in the community. We wholesome. We keep it authentic, and we don't just waste your time. And we try to have a good time. We don't have a whole bunch of drama, except for K-Bomb want to talk of stuff, and I have to go back and forth at him. And Mr. Keith try to, gas us on, but then I have to flame him up. But that's neither here nor there. We make it through. We still here. We're family.
You don't sign off.
Anyway, thank you for tuning in. This was your boy Leatherhead, Keith Norris, K-Bump 20, and Miss Video Game Her. Till next time, deuces. Peace.
We got smashed, bro.
That's the new word. It's a TIG, man. It's a TIG. Don't y'all be using my stuff. Don't y'all be using my stuff. If I see TIG.